Good evening, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Devil May Cry. In today's video, we take care of the final mission, mission number 20, the end. But before we kick off everything, I need to change my costume one last time. Oh, it's gonna be classic. We're gonna switch out to classic Dante, and for those who have actually played Devil May Cry 3, they will know the actual significance of this outfit. But yes, I'm so excited for this, and so sad at the same time. But we're gonna get right down into this fucking game. So, let's get into it. Alright, guys.
What's happening?
Limbo has collapsed into the real world. What was once hidden is now laid bare for all to see. Revolution is in the air.
I never believed I'd live to see this day.
Just the beginning of the end for the demons. Mankind would be free.
Yes. Free from the demons. Path is clear for us to rule.
What did you just say?
The path is clear for us to rule.
To rule what?
This. Everything.
Virgil,
You mean like Mundus?
No. No. We'll be nothing like Mundus. We'll respect our subjects, not enslave them.
subjects.
He means you. He means humans.
I thought we were fighting for freedom.
It was his freedom we were fighting for, not yours.
Don't be so simplistic. Humans are frail. They're like children. They need protection. Not just from others, but from themselves. We, you and I, have saved them.
You and I saved them?
Who else?
A human.
Cat was useful, but
Useful.
Cat saved my life. Cat held out under torture to keep your existence a secret. Cat led us through the tower to Mundus's lair. We would have failed 20 times over if it weren't for her.
listen. If you can't see the chaos that humans will cause, if you don't want the responsibility of protecting them, then stand aside. I'll rule alone.
I didn't help you destroy Mundus so that you could take his place. I can't let you do this, Virgil.
And I can't let you stop me, brother. Stand aside.
Don't do this.
Virgil, please.
Stay out of this!
Ladies and gentlemen, this is why almost everybody hates Virgil. Simply because of how asinine this. Ladies and gentlemen, this is why so many people hate Virgil in this game. It is all because he's not a power-hungry person. He feels responsible for. I feel like he feels responsible for his mother's death, so he feels that he needs to gain more power to help, like, to ensure that he doesn't lose anybody of importance to him. But he is willing to achieve these goals, but achieve this by any means possible. So, as like, Virgil is a really cool character. I love him personally. Like, I love him in all his incarnations. from Devil May Cry 1 to Devil May Cry 3. He actually doesn't exist in Devil May Cry 2 or 4. I think he's dead in 4. I think so. I'm not entirely sure on that one. But he's just such a cool character, and he's so interesting. Because he almost directly parallels Dante with Dante's, like, Dante's whole thing is he's just carefree, he doesn't really give a shit. And he does things his way. But Virgil is kind of on the opposite end of that spectrum, where he is more willing to get a job done by any means possible. Where Dante has rules. He will not go out and just kill somebody for money. Like, I feel like in any portrayal of Virgil, he would probably end up being like portrayed as an assassin if he wasn't like this.
Don't be.
But now we move into his next stage, which is going to be a little bit more tricky, but roughly the same. Just find an opening and attack him, like that. And it's just, I love this game. This game is a lot of fun for me to play, but I cannot say it holds a candle, even remotely, to the Devil May Cry 1 or 3. Shit, even 4. I'm not very big on 4, but I love this game. But this fight is just such a pain in the ass at times, because when I first played through it, I got stuck on him. Like, I got stuck on his final phase, which we will get to in a minute. My God, he just keeps coming back for punishment. It's just like, I hadn't fully anticipated your betrayal on this. I will also say I like the little that little notice of just lightning and thunder, and just like, it looks amazing, honestly. But I want to know where Cat's hiding. Cause like, did they move to another platform, like another section of rubble, or what? Cause I like Cat. She's kind of an interesting character for all intents and purposes.
It's not too late. Yes, it is.
But yeah, it's just like, oh wait, I see where she's supposed to be, but I guess, but she's not there. Huh. And I just find it so odd that, like, this fight's really easy once you like get into it. Like, you can easily beat Virgil. You just need to dodge a lot, know when to strike him, and do all that shit. Because it's just like, it's such a, this fight is really lackluster, honestly. Because oh. This is weird. Yeah, in the other games, Virgil's Devil Trigger isn't a doppelganger, which I feel like they just got the idea from DMC 3 with its styles, because doppelganger was one of the abilities. But this is essentially how you handle the fight. You go into Devil Trigger and it pulls the doppelganger into the air, which, the more you strike the doppelganger, you'll get some orbs back to use Devil Trigger again. On lower difficulties, it's a lot easier to get your Devil Trigger back, because he will reward you with more for hitting him, but he will also block your attacks. But this is something that I found out myself, and I thought was kind of odd, because like, I got stuck on this fight. When I got him down to this final phase, and I'm sitting there wailing away at him, can't hit him, just hitting his fucking doppelganger. Like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? I thought it was hysterical and horribly stupid, but just like, why? Like, I don't like this fight. Ooh, God damn it! I hate relying on items. I hate doing it. And at this point in the fight, he's at such low health that Be bothered it by really explosives. doesn't matter.
Because you're not going to get
If
that
I was
high
to
of a
do
score
that.
to begin with unless you're like a calm god.
I don't know why I did that. I will cover my first experience with this fight after the scene is done.
Dante, don't kill him. Please. I am begging you. Please stop. For me.
The world is under my protection now.
You've chosen the wrong side. You're not human, Dante. You never will be. I loved you, brother.
I don't know who I am anymore.
I know exactly who you are. You are Dante. Nothing more and nothing less.
But yeah, guys, this is the end of the game. I really want to see them pick up with this, like this version of Dante. I want to see what they can do with him, like what's going to go on with Virgil, which we will see what happens to him in Virgil's Downfall, which will be uploaded very, very soon. But oops, but what is it? But let's go into my final thoughts on this video. On this whole series as a whole, I really enjoyed doing this because it was a lot of fun. It was really like this was my first real like finished project, and I really enjoyed myself doing this because it was so much fun. I only have a few gripes with like this whole series. Like I feel I could have probably done it better if I wasn't trying to record a 60 FPS game on a laptop that can what is it? Well, on a laptop that's meant for like not low quality, but medium quality gaming, like medium graphic rendering, and I use to edit too, which is way easier said than no. It's actually pretty easy because all I use to edit is Windows Movie Maker, and like I don't know if you can look at my tags because I always type out what I use to edit, what I record with, because I use an Elgato, I use a pair of Turtle Beaches, which I've gone back and listened to the game, the can't think of the words, the quality of the microphone audio, which is really good. Like I'm shocked for a headset that cost me $80, but it's good. And then, but it's just like I really feel I could have done a few things better. But it's mostly due to my hardware limitation at this current moment. But let's move into a few other topics. I feel, what is it? I feel that this game was a lot of fun to. Well, it's a lot of fun to play. It was a lot of fun to make these videos with. I'm very satisfied with the outcome. I feel that this game could have been done a little bit better. Like, just generally a little bit better. Because this game was pretty cool. This game was a lot of fun. But there were a few aspects that I didn't like. I like the succubus fight, and I like the Mundus fight is very lackluster, honestly. Due to its similarities, it's basically like fighting the last two bosses in like the first, like the two important bosses in a hybrid fight. Like, it's like they just took the succubus, Bob Barvis, and Mundus' spawn and threw them together into a single fight, and it loses that feeling because in Devil May Cry 1, it was completely different. It was kind of interesting on how they did the Devil May Cry 1 Mundus fight. Yes, and spoilers for a game that's been out for a long time. But it's just, that fight didn't feel very good or very well done. It felt kind of rushed, to say like the least. But what is it? But the people who wrote this album, Combat Artist, I don't know how to say their name. I can never get it right. Combatist, or whatever it is, because I don't know why, I just can't say it. I felt that they wrote the whole, they wrote the album for the entirety of this game. Like, all the music that you hear in this game was written by them. Well, most of it. There were a few things that were written in-house by Ninja or Capcom. I'm not really sure which one produced like anything that wasn't made by Combat Artist. But it was just so cool that they actually made an album out of the music that they recorded for the game. Well, I don't know if they recorded specifically for the game, or they took that album, but they wrote the fucking games, not the ambiance, but they wrote the battle music, and it's so cool because it's like, it's very, how to phrase this, like you can really get into it. Like, the music is so fitting, and it's perfect. It's right up my alley, and it's probably right up a lot of people's alleys. Because it's like a very cool kind of metal, almost. I'm pretty sure it is metal, but there are a lot of different types of metal, so I'm not gonna really like stir that nest, and it's right up my alley in terms of like music. Because I love this type of music. This is like right up my alley. But it's more or less going to, what is it? It's more or less like going, this game is more or less like going around in a circle. But that, you can say that a lot to explain a lot of the Devil May Cry games, because all it is you go through one area, you fight the enemies, and then you get to the end of the area, like after you complete that mission. And like with Devil May Cry 1, there were a little bit of puzzles, like a very few puzzles with it. And it was not very few, but there were a decent amount. Like it was very, I thought it was very entertaining because it gave a little bit of puzzle solving to the game. Puzzle solving aspects of that game. DMC 1 had some really cool stuff going for DMC 2, had some really cool stuff going for it too, but the game itself was kind of in and out for me. Because like there were some really cool fights in that game, don't get me wrong, but then there were some stuff that wasn't really good with it. DMC 3 was a lot of fun because it took a lot of aspects from the first game and improved upon them. Even the bosses, like, what is it? I think that game has the most bosses out of them all. Where this game only has Bob Varvis, Mundus' spawn, the Hunter, and Mundus, and Virgil. 5 bosses, in contrast to the other games where they had so many more bosses. Like, in those games, it was so much more fun because you got to fight more bosses. Like, the bosses had different styles, and like Nello Angelo from DMC 1 was so hard. He was such a difficult fight because he fought like, he didn't fight like a normal enemy. he fought like completely different. It was cool. Like the Virgil fight in this, it's cool. It's very reminiscent of Devil May Cry 3's fight with him, and it's just so cool. But by the end of that fight, it's just like it's done. There's nothing left to it. Like this game doesn't have a lot of replay value, sadly. Like to me, the Devil May Cry games, I will go through them again and again and again normally, just to beat them. Because I want that challenge. I enjoy that challenge. It's like Dark Souls. Well, Dark Souls has corrupted me because of that. I want challenge, and it's so much fun for me because of this challenge. But this game, like, there's very, very little difference between the entirety of it. Like, you can play it on Nephilim, which is the hardest base difficulty you can get without beating the game, and without applying hardcore to it. But then you have Dante Must Die, the Son of Sparta. You have all these other difficulties that are locked behind. That are locked behind the fact that you have to beat the game, and that's how the other games have done it. I understand that, but the old games were so much more difficult. Like their base game was very difficult, and I loved it. I had so much fun with that. But I can't say the same with this because I don't know how. I've played this game so many times. I think I played this game like 3 or 4 times now, and I like it. I have a lot of fun playing it. But it's just after you beat it the first time, it's like, all right, let's go into Son of Sparta mode, and then that just leaves you kind of disappointed. Because all it is, like, there's no real difference. Like, enemies have more health, but you get stuck fighting the exact same enemies, which is similar to the first games, and I understand that. But I mean, they could have made it a little bit different. Like, instead of you fighting the elites, just like the elite standards at the start, instead of the normal characters, because I forget their names all the time. They could have put in like a tyrant or a butcher or a fucking dream hunters. They could have put more in there, because those things make the game so much more difficult. But they didn't, and it gives it very little interest, sadly. And I'm trying my very best. Like, I've already made a lot of comparisons to the old games through this, but it's just it's so hard not to compare it to its predecessors. Like, this game had a lot to live up to, and as long as you don't count it in with its original what is it called? With the originals, it's fine. It's like you count it as its own separate entity, and it's a lot of fun. Like, if you guys want to go out, like, I recommend that anybody who hasn't played a Devil May Cry game, this is like a very soft middle ground to start with. Like, it's not too difficult, it's not too easy. But if you want to get right down into it, go straight for the fucking HD collection of the first 3 games. And I guarantee it's going to be hard for you. Because you got to get used to the old controls, you got to get used to the camera angles. It's just, you got to get used to so much stuff. And what is it? I feel really bad that I got a C for this, because this is awful. I feel like I could have done so much better on this mission, but oh yeah, what is it? Yeah, as I said, I feel I could have done better on this mission as a whole. I really wish I didn't have to use those items, which was really fucking stupid of me. But with this, by beating this game, you unlock white-haired Dante as the default skin now, instead of black-haired. You unlock Son of Sparta, which is the next difficulty, which then you have to beat to unlock another one, and another one, and another one. And now you get Must-Style mode, where you can only damage enemies by getting to a combo rank of S or better. That is the only way you can damage them. I feel like a good combination would be hardcore and turbo, because it's just like the movement speed is up by 20%. But yeah, like I really wish I could say more about this because I love this game. It's a lot of fun to play, but there's so many faults to it at times. Like, it has a very minimal amount of bosses. They could have had so much more. But with the definitive edition, they did fix a lot of issues that the original game had. But yeah. So in the next video, in the bonus video, I will be covering Bloody Palace and we'll take a look at a few of the concept arts. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed, do like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.